But in order for this embodiment to be fulfilling that potential, it needs to be activated. It needs to be purified. It needs to be matured. But first, it needs to be activated. Now, when I had a business a long time ago and employees and we had machines and things like that, we had an IT guy who was a contractor, and I would call him when things went down. And the first thing Martin would say, always the first question, was the same question. And gradually I learned that question. I learned to ask it before I had to pay him to ask it. The question was, is it plugged in? It's surprising how often that was the issue. And it's the same with our own embodiment. The multi-leveled generosity of life is flowing into your embodiment with every breath. It's flowing in also at every level as gross molecules, as subtle and as super subtle forces or energies. But we only receive that to which we are plugged into. Are we plugged in? Now, mantra meditation is one of the great time-honored methods for consciously opening, i.e., connecting to the energy of life. It's one of the great methods of purifying the subtle channels of the body so that we can more and more fully, at the pace of our own capacity, receive the abundance of the holy breath, the abundance of life itself. Remember the quote from Jesus, speaking as the Christ consciousness, says, I have come that you might have life and have it abundantly. This is the offer. This is the grace. This is the unwithheld in any way blessing that is available. And this is where trust comes into the equation. The title of this course on the sacral chakra, on the Jupiter center, is Abundance, Trust, and Flow. The abundance is endlessly being offered. Trust in this context is about opening up to the presence, opening up to the action of the holy breath. And particularly, it's opening up to the action, because action is the purifying element, the purifying function of the holy breath. Now, remember again that there's these three channels in the body, poetically described as solar, lunar, and divine fire. And the yogi is seeking to attune to and to come close to the divine fire, to enter that middle pillar or that divine fire. Because as we come close to that fire, this is where the purification occurs. This is where also the integration and the alchemical transformation begins. This is where, through that purification, we can commune with and be nourished by the sacred medicine at any particular chakra level.